Hello everyone, welcome back. This is part 4 of our look at Pocket Toys Ruiner B Combiner set, which is their take on the Combaticons and Bruticus. Previously we looked at Brawl, Swindle, and Blastoff, and here we have Vortex. And as you can tell, he looks incomplete. This is how he's packaged in the box. So if you're taking him out of the box for the first time, this is what he's going to look like. So to get them all properly suited up, go into a little baggie and get out the 4 rotor blades and this cockpit section. So for the cockpit, so it looks like here, it has on a hinge here this section, which is going to mount the nose cone weapon. So you just want it oriented so that this port is sticking out like that. And then this slot here is going to fit over this piece here. Now in mine, the fit isn't great, but you just line it up there and get it on. And it sits there via friction. And mine doesn't take much to pop it off. Your mileage may vary, but for mine the hold is pretty weak, and it looks like that. Next thing is to take the rotor blades and we're going to put them on. So there's little friction joints on each of these pieces of the rotor. So we're going to install it with the rounded part up. And just line it up and push to pop it into place like that. So we're going to do it for each one. And that way we have it oriented like this. These pieces can fold up out of the way if you need it to. Otherwise, fold them down like this. There we have Vortex. You got some good spin on the main rotor here. And like the G1 version, he's a mostly gray helicopter with some blue accents. No tail rotor on this version. Look at the top and the bottom. For his weaponry, bring in what's left of the big blaster. So we're going to take this piece on the top and detach it. And then these 2 side cannons here, I'll take each of these off, put this off to the side. Now this piece here, this peg is going to plug in to this port here on nose cone. And you can orient it however you want. In the instructions, it has this peg sticking up. So that's how I'm going to leave it here. As far as the little miniguns, plug them in to the sides. That will become the arms in robot mode. Like that. It also ports up top here. You could plug them in up top. You just get a little bit of interference here from the blades. So as far as alt mode, I want to put them on the sides like that. And there you have Vortex all armed up in his alt mode. And here's a look at Vortex next to his G1 counterpart in their helicopter modes. You can see they made this look like a more modern, sci-fi looking helicopter. Color scheme is also brighter than the original toy. Other than that, the original toy had tail rotor, the new one does not. I can say both versions are looking good. To get Vortex into his robot mode, what we'll do here is we'll just pull off the cockpit and put it off to the side. Turn him around. The bottom sections here, we're going to flip this piece out so we can expose the thighs here. Up on top, I'm going to rotate the main rotor here. There's a peg here so you can spin this around. And I'm going to fold these up just to get them out of the way. Rip this section here, and we're going to pull it out like that. And probably be easier for you if you do each leg individually. And the legs, when you do that, everything will naturally untab. But the legs are connected here, 1, 2 tabs, 1, 2 slots there. But once you got the legs straightened out and apart, you can go back to the other side, push these pieces back in. And then on the front here, you can flip down the toes to complete the feet. So he's looking like that so far. So for the arms, there's a tab slot right here. So you're going to pull this out like that. You can bring the shoulder up just a bit, bring down the arm, and rotate it around so it looks like that. Same thing on the other side. Swing that out. Bring the shoulder up a bit, bring this down and rotate it. Up top, you can unclip this piece here, bring it down. I'm going to open up the rotor blades again. If you angle it down like this, you can bring this piece all the way down, and this piece will come through like that. Then you can either leave these blades like that, or you can fold them in, whatever you want to do. If you have them folded up like that, it has like kind of a cleaner silhouette, but then the backpack kind of sticks out a lot. Fold it up like this. You have kind of a smoother backpack, but you have the blade sticking out, so it's whatever look you prefer here. I kind of like this look. And then all you need to do to get him completed up is just spin the head around like that. There is Vortex in his robot mode. And he looks pretty good. All these Combaticons so far are neat little figures. As far as movement on him, you can spin his head all the way around. It's on a ball joint, so he's got a lot of movement. Ball joints at the arms. Fold these out of the way. You can spin them all the way around, up and down. You can also change the position of the shoulders. A little bit of back and forth at the shoulder. You have rotation here for the bicep. Because of transformation, you can bring the elbow all the way up, and the wrists rotate. You have rotation here at the waist. Move the legs forward and back, out to the side. ball joint here at the hip, so you got a little bit of back and forth. And like the other figures, you have a separate peg here for thigh rotation. You can bend the knees that much. As far as the feet go, the heel pieces are all one solid section. So you've just got a ball joint at the toes here. So that can move forward, not backwards at all. You got a little bit of side-to-side movement. You can use that to simulate a full ankle tilt if you wish. For Vortex's weapons, we'll bring them in here. Stand up straight, please. For Vortex's weapons, we'll bring them in here like so. So we can put this piece back on the cockpit. Flip down this handle here. So if you want, you can have him holding this in either hand as his main weapon. For the other two weapons, what the instructions want you to do here is to take these pieces on his shoulder and flip them up. There's ports up on the top here, so you can plug his blasters onto each shoulder mount. So you have that look. If you have it like that, you can also swing this down. So maybe he's normally walking around like that, and when he gets in the battle, he's going to flip up at a moment's notice. If you do flip that up, you might get some more interference if you want to have the blades up like this. Another thing you can do, you take these off if you don't like that, if you want to have these flip down. He has those ports still on his forearms, so you can certainly plug these into his forearms like that, which is kind of neat looking. Another thing you could do, take this off. Of course, he can hold both of these as like handheld weapons. You could plug this into either one of his forearms as well. So you have a different forearm mounted weapon slash like kind of like a small shield thing going on. Whatever looks best to you. But there's Vortex armed up in his robot mode. And here we have Pocket Toys Vortex standing next to his G1 counterpart in their robot modes. I think this guy looks really great. Definitely a little bit better rendition than the G1 as far as robot goes. Much brighter color scheme here. In this mode, his color scheme almost reminds me of one of the Seacons. He's got kind of that bright 80s color scheme going on. But definitely a nice rendition of the G1 toy, in my opinion. To get Vortex back into his alt mode, and take his head, rotate it all the way around. Back, we're going to flip up both tail sections. The base of the tail, I have these two small tabs, which are going to go into these slots right here. Push that down to hear a click. The arms, we're going to bring the shoulders down, forearms up, and this tab is going to go into that slot right there on the side of the chest. So just get that all lined up and pushed in. Same thing on the other side. So you have that look. Bring the rotor blades up. I'm going to fold them up so everything's just out of my way. On the front of the legs, just take the toes, just flip them up so they're in their home position there. On the back, open up these panels. And what we're going to do here is we're going to flip over each part of the leg so that the thighs rest in here. As well, I got some space here to show you. These two tabs are going to go into these two slots to connect the legs together. So just kind of get them up one at a time. Try to make sure that the legs are straight as possible. So you get that up in there. Sometimes things catch because things are moving around. The waist wants to unclip, but get that in there just like that. And there's a little tab slot connection up here too. So when you're doing that motion, once this part of the leg is nestled in its home, this all should line up and come together on its own. Do the same thing on the other side. Bring this around. Make sure this goes in here and everything clips together there. You can bring these panels back down, just like that. If anything has come loose on you, just tab it back together. Bring the blades back out. And rotate this forward like that. And grab the cockpit section. And just get this tab on the front here into the slot. Line it up. Get that. Hopefully it will hold in better for you than it holds in for me. Yeah, man. There we go. And that is Vortex back in his alt mode. To get Vortex into his combined mode, what we'll do here is take off the cockpit for now. Come around here. So we're going to reposition the arms. I'm going to unpeg them from where they are. And I'm going to rotate the whole arm assembly like that. And there's a new slot here for that tab to go into. So just line that up, plug that in, so it looks like that now. Do the same thing on the other side. This over, line it up, tab it in like that. And like on Blast Off, we have the elbow joint there, so we want to free that up. So we're going to pull that down and work this out, straighten everything so this rectangular piece is lined up with Vortex's lower torso right there. And this chest piece here is where he's going to go into Bruticus to form the left arm. So what you want to do here is rotate the bottom piece here like that. And for the cockpit, what I'm going to do is split this part open, and there's these little notches in here that will fit this little handle here. So just line that up, put that into the grooves there, and close this back up. So that'll hold this into place, so you don't have to worry about it interfering with the hand or getting knocked off because of this loose connection here, which is really nice. I wish they could have incorporated that somehow to hold this into place when it's in the helicopter mode, but what are you going to do? Well, finally, we'll bring in the other hand. So just like the right hand, it's got the same articulation. Mushroom peg here so you can rotate at the wrist. Each finger and thumb is on ball joints, so you can move them around, and you have hinges on the upper part of each digit can pose it however you want. The connection is a little bit different than on Blastoff. You have these pegs here that will go into these slots right there. So just line it up and push that in, and that'll hold quite nicely. And since he's going to be going in, this will be the orientation the arm is in, so you can just rotate the wrist like that, so everything looks all nice. But there is Vortex in combined mode. Some final thoughts on Vortex. Design-wise, both robot mode and alt mode look really good. Transformation's simple. The only fiddly part is getting the legs in and out. Other than that, it's okay. Playability-wise, he poses good. The only point of frustration, really, aside from the cockpit not staying in properly in alt mode, is this waist, just like on Blastoff, because of the combiner elbow joint there, it wants to come apart. So that could cause some frustration if someone's playing with it. Durability-wise, feels pretty good. I don't think anything is going to break on him. I didn't mention this on the other figures, but Vortex and the other Combaticons all have very good feeling plastic. This is high quality. It's not low quality plastic. So I feel like it's going to last. I don't have too much more to say about Vortex. So what we'll do is we'll have Onslaught's review come up next, and then we will finish things off with a look at Bruticus himself. But for now, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.